Good now, revolutionaries, and welcome to Rise Up After Dark. It is July 22nd, and we are back for a little BYOB, DYOR, let your hair down and talk some shit about the crypto industry fun times. Tonight we are joined by our friend Kenny. He is the creator of POIDH, Picks or It Didn't Happen. I was telling the backstage bootleg chat, he is a self-proclaimed Bitcoin maxi, a lover of crops, the censorship resistance, etc. that makes crypto cool. And joining me, as always, are Alex and Will. I think it's going to be a great time. But Kenny, let me start by saying welcome to Rise Up After Dark, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you all for having me. Super excited for this conversation. Already impressed by your setup here. Very professional, excellent stream experience. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Hey man, the check is in the mail. Thank you for saying that. If you could just say it 2 or 3 times more before you get off, that would be really good.
Clip it. Clip it. Post it.
Yeah.
You can put a bounty up for that.
Say again?
You can put a bounty up for that.
I could put a bounty up for that. Okay. That might be the move. We're talking about bounties tonight because that's exactly what Picks or It Didn't Happen is, and we're going to get into it in a second. If you want to play along at home, the place to go is POIDH, Picks or It Didn't Happen.xyz. I'll show it on screen later. It's a cool platform. We love cool crypto stuff that isn't just about hype and charts. I'll get into it in a second, but let me tell the folks 2 things. The first is, don't forget the place to go if you enjoy the show and you want to be where it is 24/7. That place is the link in bio. Wherever you are, whenever you listen, or just remember community.rumshq.com. We've got forums, we've got helpful friends. The only thing missing is you. And the second thing is, I've already dinged tonight. Every time you hear that sound, Kenny, that means somebody speaking or somebody we are speaking about has received a point. And every time you hear this sound, it means somebody speaking or somebody we are speaking about has lost a point. It's a game of dings and gwumps here on After Dark. And at the end of the night, somebody's going to win and receive some fabulous canned applause. I hope it's me.
I hope it's me.
I used to be a big Around the Horn fan on ESPN. Is that the inspiration here?
I have to confess I've never seen that show, but I have heard of it.
It's closer to Whose Line Is It Anywhere, where the points are made up and the numbers are made up, the points don't matter. And the thing to know that I'm actually going to give you before we get into it, because I usually forget to do the disclaimer until after Evan's already done the damage. It's the most corrupt game on the air because the points are mostly doled out by a really centralized entity in Evan, and he will arbitrarily assign and deduct points if the game is not going the direction he deems it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love a good central authority. Big fan of Whose Line as well. My top celebrity meeting ever, I sold a Sonicare toothbrush to Ryan Stiles when I was working at Rite Aid in college up in Bellingham, Washington. He lives up there, and I was so starstruck I couldn't even say anything. But yeah, a great memory.
What shoes was he wearing?
I got no idea.
Oh, dude. For those who don't know, Ryan Stiles of Whose Line Is It Anyway fame has maybe the best shoe collection of any improv comedian anywhere in history. They're these like
very specific,
clownish, colorful.
Oh yeah, these are great
saddle shoes. Look at this guy. For people in podcast land, just Google Ryan Stiles shoes and
Ryan
feast
Stiles was my favorite.
Your eyes. Look at this man just relishing in his shoes.
Yeah. So cool. I was so the thing that happened, I'm sitting there checking out, and the Sonicare toothbrush had one of those security devices on it, and I'd never taken it off before. And so now I'm like panicking. I'm like, I'm not going to know how to take off the security device. Ryan Stiles is going to think I'm an idiot. And I just kind of like threw it against the magnetic device and it fell off perfectly for me. Brilliant. Phew. Amazing. And I didn't get a chance to check out his shoes because I was so caught up in that.
Although it would be kind of an honor if he had then started making fun of you and cracking jokes at not being able to take off the magnetic tag. That probably would have actually been the best case scenario.
That could have been the move.
Yeah.
Okay. Ryan Stiles, if you're watching, put a 1 in the chat or something like that. We'd love to see your shoe collection.
Is there a
Everybody
picture
else.
of this event happening? Because I'm not sure that it happened.
There might be
And that's why I made the app. That was it.
I see what you did there.
I see what you did there.
That seems like as good a segue as any. Do you want to tell us, Kenny, what the heck Pix or It Didn't Happen is?
Yeah. So Pixar didn't happen. For anybody who hasn't checked it out before, it's a fully on-chain bounty protocol. Okay. And I've actually been talking about it more as a human coordination protocol as well, because that's really all it is. It's people being able to put money out there on chain for anything they want to see happen in the world. For example, this is a bounty. If you click that image there, that is a bounty that somebody made, and I forget his name, Alex Guzman.eth, and you can check out his profile too. So if you click that Farcaster icon, you'll go to his Farcaster profile. If you click the X icon, you'll go to his X profile. So he won a bounty on POIDH. He won the Logadog competition, which you're a big Logadog guy as well, right? Huge fans of what they're doing over there. Very, very related, right? Pictures on the blockchain verifying things. And so Alex Guzman, he wins this bounty over the 4th of July weekend, $50 for the best Logadog pick. It was a random drawing. And then he was nice enough to go out and make, embrace the spirit of the app and make his own bounty, which was just go hug a tree, and he's going to randomly pick a winner at the end of this contest. And if you scroll up here, the fun part about POIDH, which is makes it very different than traditional bounty apps, is you have contributors here, right? Anybody can come through here. And so I have boosted this bounty with ETH, right? Added to it because I love his idea, right? You click add funds, type in how much ETH you want to boost it. And now you are seamlessly helping to bring these moments on chain, right? You're incentivizing people to go out and hug trees and take pics of it and mint it on the base blockchain.
Dude, who doesn't want to do that? Check it out. Funds successfully added. I think I threw like $1 in the bounty, and I got some POIDH points. What's the POIDH point?
So if you go hit X on this, and if you go to the main menu, you're going to see that we have a leaderboard. And so what this leaderboard, so click the hamburger menu up there, top left, leaderboard, and you'll see all the points that people have earned over the course of their history on points. So we got to get you your first points. You will earn those points when the bounty is paid out, right? So you get points for either paying money out with bounties, earning money through bounties, and then also for the POIDH NFTs that you hold, which when you run a bounty and somebody submits a claim, and you confirm that bounty, you collect that claim as an NFT, right? So people are minting these moments when they submit and they try to earn this bounty. And so, you can see these are NFTs that Dave has collected by running bounties. And then Dave also claimed our most famous bounty, which was we broke the world record for kickflips in 1 minute, the Guinness World Record, and it was a $30,000 bounty. And Dave was
damn.
I'm sorry, $30,000?
Yes. So if you scroll down, you can click Guinness World Records. You're going to see Dave Baczynski has the Guinness World Record. And so this was crowdfunded along with the DGen folks, right? That DGen meme coin on Farcast.
Yes.
And I started the bounty with $100. Then I went to the Haberdashery DAO, which was on Farcaster. I said, hey, I got this crazy idea. Let's break the world record for kickflips in 1 minute. If you guys put up $10,000, Josic from DGen says he'll put in $20K. And everybody was like, yeah, fuck it. Like, let's do something fun. Like, I came up in the early days of crypto when we used to do fun things with crypto. I remember, Jamaican bobsled team being sponsored by Dogecoin, like Dogecoin putting the logo on a NASCAR car. Right. And I was like, hey, let's do something amazing here. And so, Dave recorded the video, got it verified by Guinness. And one day we woke up and the claim was on the page. And so the bounty was up for I think it was 3 weeks. It had $30,000 in it. And anybody around the world could have claimed this.
Wow. But Dave said, hold my beer, give me a board. For people in podcast land, I'm showing this whole thing on screen, and this guy is, I don't know where he found that like stretch of land or how many takes it took him to do this, but he's been going for 40 seconds. He's at 27. He's at 28. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I was in Los Angeles. I forget the exact play field. He has a breakdown on YouTube, I believe, where he goes over exactly everything behind the scenes, how long it took. I think it was like 3 different filming days. And he's a legendary skateboarder in and of himself. Like he's known for this massive kickflip of this landmark spot called El Toro. He kickflipped El Toro, and it's this 20 stair. And so just a legend, followed by Tony Hawk on Instagram. Like, and he's been into crypto stuff for a long time. He'd been on Farcaster, been on DGen ecosystem. So that was how he found out about the bounty. But yeah,
that's crazy.
That's our flagship event, obviously. It was
Side note is on this Guinness World Record page, Sultan, I can't pronounce his last name, the tallest man in the world, is a member of my favorite social DAO, Tall DAO. So shout out Tall DAO, shout out Sultan. We see you being tall out here.
We see you being tall.
Is Tall DAO active? I would love to get sponsor some bounties around just being tall. That would be fantastic.
How high are you in inches?
I can't join. I'm like 5'7". All right, so
okay.
What it is. I'm a short king, right? But I would love to have you guys sponsor some bounties.
I think that they might be convinced to do it. I could put up a tall bounty right now. What kind of bounty would you put for being tall? I struggle to think of it. Maybe you can help me think of it, because that's one of the things I wanted to do is
doorways you hit your head on in a day. I don't know.
I think just a bounty for a 7-footer would be chill.
Yep.
Like
that'd be good.
How many 7-footers are there in crypto? Like,
aside from Sultan, I think I know like 1 or 2.
Yeah. So it's like you have to be a 7-footer, and you can't already be a member of this DAO, which takes out all the existing people. And I think that transitioned us to like we want to be an app for onboarding new people to crypto, right? And we think that this is a better way to reach out to people by saying, hey, you can earn some crypto by doing something fun, doing something silly, right? As opposed to, hey, buy a meme coin and it might go up or down, right? Which has some psychological implications when you think about that, where people are like, oh, I might lose my money. But with POIDH, it's just, hey, you might earn some money.
Yeah, for hugging a tree or doing some kickflips, or as Solom Spartan says, a bounty for creating a Rums Island. Rums is Rise Up Morning Show, Rise Up Media. We could do that with a citadel of education. If somebody's got an island out there, I would indeed put a bounty up for that and the Rums pirate ship. Okay, so maybe let's create a bounty then together. Will, I tried to give your shoulder a little break. I'm sorry I kind of rugged you, but I am going to go back to the screen share because I want to show people how easy it is. And while I'm pulling it up, this is such a relevant topic because, guys, I mean, as we were lamenting the loss of POAP, one of the things we said is, like, it's such a fun way to onboard people into crypto, to give them something fun to do, right?
Yep.
Well, it's better than, hey, look at this new revolutionary technology of money. Oh, no, don't click. And it's gone. Oh, no, don't click that. It's gone.
Oh, I don't know how to sell this thing. Yeah.
I don't know how to sell this thing. Good thing. You don't have to. It's already gone.
So I've got a wallet connected here. If I wasn't connected, you would see at the top right of the website a little connect wallet button, and your favorite crypto wallet will work. Does this work without a crypto wallet? Do you have like a Privy or something like that, or no, not at this time?
No, we don't have Privy at the moment. So to give everybody context, this is still my part-time thing. Full-time, I'm an SEO consultant. Right. So I've been building this on the side with freelancers and grant money. Right now, I am trying to fundraise so I can go full time and build this into a full suite where, yeah, you don't have to bring your own crypto wallet. Right. We have the hosted crypto wallet. We let you buy crypto in the app. Everything's ironed out for newbies. I want it to be the best onboarding experience out there. But yeah, that's the reason why we don't have that yet. So to anybody who wants to try it out, I apologize. I'm trying to make it more seamless for you, but for now, you will need to bring your own crypto wallet.
Okay. Got it. Good to know. I see several bounties here that might be worth highlighting. The GM Farcaster, some of our friends and colleagues have a sponsor referral bounty. That could be a good one, guys. Like if you bring a brand that would be a great fit for Rise Up, we would definitely give you a referral bonus. This is a half ETH bounty. That would be cool.
That's a good idea.
Interview a politician about crypto is one for $150. Direct on-camera conversations with real U.S. politicians. I see the big red button down here. I see a big red button, and I got to click it.
I click.
That was easy.
So here I go. Let's think about what we want to do. And if you're listening live in the comments and you have ideas for what we should ask for, then let me know. I think a sponsor referral would be good. I have previously asked for podcast reviews. I'm always out here trying to sell Rise Up reviews, and several people responded. So I ended up just paying them all out. Kenny was super helpful about that because I did not understand at that time that it was like a one winner take all. Is that something you want to?
Yeah, I can address that. And thank you so much for understanding on that. So the thing with POIDH, and because it's sort of an experimental NFT project, right? In that, hey, every bounty, when you confirm it, you are collecting that moment. So at its heart, POIDH is not so much like a contest platform, right? Even though we do a lot of contests. So we're probably never going to go away from that angle of like, all right, there's one main winner all the time, but that's the logic for it. That's the reason why when you put that bounty pot up, there's only one person who you get to select as winner. Now, you can always do custom payouts, and we do a lot of custom payouts and stuff like that as well. And so I just try to put that into the bounty itself, into that description, be like, hey, there's going to be one grand prize winner. They are going to take home everything that's in the pot. I also try not to say a static amount for the pot, because the whole fun of it is, hey, you start with 20 and maybe somebody adds 20 and another person adds 20 and now it's $100. So I try to avoid that, right? Because the bounty description itself isn't going to show that information. And just try to tell people, all right, one person's going to take home this whole pot. We might send secondary prizes based off of, really good other claims that come in. But yeah, that's the framing. That's the reason why it's one winner every single time. And we're going to do a better job of telling that to bounty creators, because again, I felt super bad when that was paid out and you're like, oh, I was supposed to pay everybody.
Okay. So guys, I don't know about you, but I thought about this just a little bit before we went live, and I'm still waiting for folks in the audience. It's tough with character limits to share this kind of thing, but here are some that I had thought about that would be good Rise Up bounties. And I'm on my profile, not the Rise Up profile, but it's, it'll be okay. I thought a good one might be ask a crypto question, like the crypto question you've never gotten a satisfying answer to, and tag Rise Up, that kind of thing. Teach someone something on video or in text. Share one thing you've learned, maybe from Rise Up or just about crypto or anything that helped you understand the world, understand crypto, etc. better. I feel like that might be a good way to source some testimonials without asking them to just say, oh, Rise Up is the best. I also thought about a find misinformation bounty, like share a scam or something that's confusing or misleading or an incorrect crypto claim you've seen this week, and clip the show. If somebody
say clip the show for sure.
Yeah.
Like correct a piece of misinformation bounty.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I like that too.
Yeah, I could see that on, especially if you're big on TikTok, right? Finding a TikTok misinformation post and then reposting it yourself with the video where you're saying, you should at the beginning say this is for Rise Up and then correct the piece of misinformation.
That's a killer idea.
UGC bounty kind of thing.
Yeah. So we've done a lot. There's a group called We Them Media, and they were doing a lot of journalism bounties through POIDH. And you can actually, there's a whole album. We have an album feature which kind of acts as subreddits on the platform, right? Where all the We Them Media bounties, they're in that actually. So if you go to explore.
Yeah, and I have. Oh, I saw it. It was right there on the homepage.
Yeah, you can go to albums, and then scroll down. We Them Media should be there, number 20. Yeah, and so if you go to past, these are the active ones right now. And if you go to past bounties, that's the history of different questions they have had people go out and ask the world. So they did a big, huge one, $450 one for Pizza Day. You scroll down, I think the ones that got the most, see, there's some clipping bounties. Which was the one on the ground? We the media clipping bounty. Oh, these ones. What's your take on USA Today? That got a good amount of submissions. Open reporter audition for the platform. But yeah, this is the type of stuff that they, what is Ethereum? I think that's right up your alley as well in terms of crypto educational content. Mainly what we focused on to start were these questions around getting just real people's thoughts on crypto, on Ethereum, and trying to track just how much there is, like, in terms of misinformation and misconceptions out there about the industry.
Yeah. I have a question about that and about your audience in just a second, but I would love to create this bounty. Will, do you have thoughts on what we should bounty for? Because I'm glad to take more ideas.
I've been trying to think of some, and I've been struggling right now, to be honest.
Then I'm going to go with the...
I liked the correction of misinformation.
Yeah, I think I like that one too.
Because it, like, it champions a good thing that people should be doing more of. We need more correction of misinformation on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
That's for damn sure.
Yeah, and let me give, I had a note that'll help me, but so share the most confusing, misleading, or incorrect crypto claim you've seen this week, and tag, I'll say tag me since I'm giving the bounty. But I'll also say, or Alex with his long handle, or
there's a dot in my handle.
Is there really, Alex?
Yeah.
Alex
Faceless
dot
Labs.
Faceless Labs.
Thank you very much. Then post your picture here. A screenshot of your video. Post a
Yeah. So generally, I tell people post a screenshot from the, post it on TikTok, right? Then get a screenshot from the video and include the link to your TikTok post in the claim.
I so hope someone trolls this and they correct the misinformation that one of us made about, like, one of our XRP videos, and they're like, it's clearly going to $100,000. I'm just like, damn it, no.
Well,
that submission doesn't count.
It's got to be a rule of the contest that you can't amplify the misinformation instead.
Yes, you cannot amplify the misinformation.
What if I make it worse?
The banks are going to use XRP, man, any day now. All the banks will be on XRP. It is so wild how good they are at the marketing side, though, because anytime I talk to somebody who doesn't know crypto, I'm talking about Bitcoin stuff, talking about Ethereum stuff, and they're nodding along, and there's a silence. They're like, "Hey, so what about that Ripple, that XRP?
What about
Is
that
actually going to $500?" I'm like, fuck, man, they got you too. They got you too.
How do we feel about $30? I feel like, kind of low, but we're not flush, and I honestly am not terribly prepared, but I feel like that's a good.
I'm gonna add more on top, so don't even worry. I'll get that up over $50. Album. So if you want to have one,
I'm thinking I'll do a Rise Up album.
Yeah, exactly. So create the Rise Up album. Now, the long-term vision for this is that because you were the first person to post a bounty in the Rise Up album, you will then be the moderator of that album, right? Wow. And it'll be just like subreddits, right? You can have your custom header, right? You can have a sidebar with your rules. You can ban people. You can give people badges, right? So that's what we want to build here, is this social platform for incentivizing things on the internet.
Check it out. My bounty is now live. I can share it. I've got 15 POIDH points.
Kenny, you alluded to adding to this so other people could contribute to the bounty on this?
Yeah, I'm about to go throw. I'll throw another. What did I see? Is it? Yeah, I'll throw 21 on this. Get it up over $50.
What a kind man. Yeah, what he does is he goes to this add funds button on the bounty page. And Alex, you could do it too. Anybody could. Oh, bounty creators cannot add funds to their own bounty. So that's
that is one holdback there.
That's okay though.
Is that like an intentional choice for any specific reason? Like
not quite. It's mainly just it was a quirk of the contract when it was originally being designed. Having to rework it would have been difficult. So just for bounty creators, it's like, okay, go and add it via a different wallet. Now there is an on-chain governance part of POIDH, okay, where Evan started this with $30, okay, and so I'm gonna add 20, and say 3 other people add $20, okay, so now he has 25% of the money that's put in. So he's gonna be the only person who can nominate a claim to win, okay, and this is very important because if you let anybody nominate a claim to win, what's gonna happen? Somebody's gonna come in, they're gonna add $100, they're going to nominate themselves. And because of the way that our governance works on confirming bounties, it's stake weighted, right? Because they have the majority share, they can just vote for themselves and they just gave themselves everybody's money, even though they didn't actually do anything, even though people didn't want to pay out. So that's the reason why it's restricted to the bounty creator. So partially this is also there to ensure that a bounty creator can't just add a bunch more money to have majority share, that, and they could vote to give the money to themselves and take the contributors' money, right? In general, though, we're pretty optimistic about bounty creators, and a lot of this relies on social stake, right? Evan has social stake when he makes this bounty. Everybody's trusting him with the money. I think we can all probably sleep soundly knowing he's not going to try to take our $20 for this clipping bounty. He's actually going to select a good winner. And then we're going to be able, there is a 48-hour voting period, though, where after he selects that winner, we will get to vote yes or no whether or not we agree with what he picked. And as long as greater than 50% of contributors stake weighted do not vote no, the bounty gets paid out.
Wow. And look at this. Our very own Tory Stories has added 0.005 ETH to the pot. Thank you very much, Tory. I think that's worth at least 5 points.
Wait, more people. Oh, okay. We got a lot of money coming in. Interesting. Okay.
It's like a telethon, people. This is great. Hang on. Let me see.
Let's get up over 100. We're not going to need much more now. Okay.
Look at this. Yeah, 3 contributors. Check that out. An anonymous contributor for 0.01 ETH EA5E. I've seen that wallet before. It looks familiar to me. Looks familiar to me. I'm gonna give that wallet, that anonymous wallet, a ding.
EA5E.
Yeah. Anonymous wallet. That's dang competitive.
I also, while scrolling to find this bounty, found 1 or 2 others that I can definitely fulfill. So
love it. Yeah, that's the interesting thing about POIDH right now is we don't have massive distribution. Only about like 200 people per day check the website. So there's this interesting formula that I like to think of in my head where it's like there's so many bounties that should be claimed by now, but they just sit because not a lot of people check the website. But when you think about if things work out well for me in the future, right, where you get you're getting tens of thousands of people checking this site every day, I like to think of it like a reality programming machine where it's like, okay, yeah, just put a bounty out and that thing's going to happen pretty quick, right? Yeah. Whereas right now it's really only best for niche tasks within the crypto ecosystem. But I think it could be a very powerful tool down the line. If anybody checks out my Twitter, I just published a piece called the Coordination Protocol, which is a pretty big outline of what I think this unlocks for humanity if we figure out a way to pool resources together in a decentralized manner and also confirm and pay out things in a super lightweight way. I'm obviously very bullish on the topic.
At Kenny is typing is the handle for folks who don't see it on screen. And thank you, Kenny, for the POIDH wallet donation. We are now up to about $80 for somebody who submits a video correcting a piece of misinformation. That's very cool. If you want to donate, you can head to POIDH, POIDH.xyz. Will, was that you? Did I step on you, brother?
Yeah, I was just going to ask again because I just wanted to confirm. As submissions come in, one winner is chosen randomly, yes? Or we choose it randomly?
We choose it on purpose.
Choose it. Oh, we choose it on purpose. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's up to you. You can choose whatever. That is one thing we might have wanted to put in the description, where we may have wanted to say, hey, how are we choosing the winner here? Is it first legit claim wins? But that's the reason there is a comment section down below. So if you want to add some clarifying notes there, you're like, hey, it's going to be first legit claim wins, or hey, the person who gets the most views is going to win. Wow. It's however you want to lay it out for people.
Yeah, I'll tell them we're going to review the submissions, I don't know, at the end of the month or something, and then we will decide on the winner. And here's what we'll do. We'll invite the community to vote for it at community.rumshq.com. So everybody we'll post the videos there in a public forum post on the thread, and then we can all choose a winner together.
Sweet. I can also add that. So I have limited dev resources. We don't have the ability to edit bounty descriptions yet, because the bounty description, all that text is actually fully on chain. You minted it on Base when you did that transaction. Hence, like, we can't go into Base and undo that minting, right? But we will add the ability to edit descriptions eventually. I have some custom methods I can do too. So I might use this as a test run, and I can add that note in the main section, and then you can also have it in that comment section. But I do want to get people using the comment section more often too, because again, the long-term vision for this is Reddit-ish, right? Like, I came up on Reddit. I came up on the internet, in the early 2000s, right? And saw, forum culture, right? And then I got on Reddit, and I loved Reddit. I was a big Redditor, still am a pretty big Redditor these days, even though they banned my 15-year-old account. So that was brutal. Yeah, too much sharing crypto stuff, too much talking crypto stuff is what it is. Trying to rebuild one. But the vision is these bounties aren't just these pages where, like, it's static and people are just submitting claims. Like, I want there to be a social discussion. I want you to build your community on here, and maybe somebody who's watching Rise Up Media, they go and they respond to your comment, and they have an idea for the judgment process, and you have that conversation out there in the open on the comment section on the bounty page, right? I think all that stuff is very valuable content. And I just want to be the hub for where people discuss getting stuff done.
Tori says she'll make a poll, and I do want to direct your attention to Tori's other comment, where that anonymous wallet posted, and Alex said, "That anonymous wallet, who could it possibly be?" And Tori said, "I want to play poker with you." So thank you, everybody, for the comments. Thank you, Solon, for the gift. And if you have questions about this, definitely Kenny would love to hear them from you. Kenny is typing, is the handle, and he's got to get going in a second. But if you've got a question now, I know we would be glad to ask him live. Kenny, oh, you got one? Good.
Two, actually.
Hit me.
So first one for the group, not Kenny specifically, but in this instance, should we create a caveat? And I know it's in the title of the bounty, but Rada brings up a good point that some people who watch the show on other platforms are geofenced away from accessing TikTok. So I feel like you could either just do a separate bounty to include other platforms, or it could just be widened to be like video specific. Or, unfortunately, not everyone can participate in every single bounty, but it's good to keep in mind, like, depending on who you're kind of creating these things for, in theory, and just recognizing limitations. And then on that note, Kenny, not to be a downer here, but we've seen instances wherein like bounty-like things were created on different platforms. I'm thinking specifically of like Pump Fun, wherein people request absolutely heinous things. Have you guys considered that, or is there anything like moderation baked into the platform? Or
Yeah, so there's no moderation of the smart contracts because the smart contracts are 100% immutable. They just sit there on base. The base, Arbitrum, Ethereum mainnet, the Gen chain. But we put pretty clearly in the terms, we don't want violent acts. We don't want sexual acts. We don't want anything illegal being requested. And if you do that, we are going to take it down off our front end, right? And you can, I guess, try to get somebody to claim the bounty through Etherscan, but it's probably not going to work. And I actually have, if I could show another blog, I have a blog called In Defense of Bounties that I released after the Pump Fund launch. And I do think that Pump Fund and Dare Market's the other one that does terrible bounties that are for like drink your piss and humiliate yourself on video. And for me, I just think that they are thinking way too small about this, because when you look at the history of what bounties have done for human society, they've actually been massively impactful for things like modern canning was invented because Napoleon put out $100,000 bounty for somebody to figure out a way to preserve food. Okay. And a guy claimed it after 10 years, right? And then like the steam engine was proved to be safe and effective based off of bounty. What was it? The first flight across the Atlantic, that was to claim a bounty, right? And so what POIDH wants to be is the home for those types of bounties, right? Like I'm currently, the kickflip world record, right? And I'm also trying to put out a proposal to the Nouns crew about potentially a bounty around local open source AI and incentivizing like a really efficient local AI model, right? And so that is what I think of, and I am fine letting the Solana platforms have bounties for sticking your tongue in a mousetrap, right? Good, go ahead, do that. I don't think anybody's really going to be making those bounties. We are going to be the home for the serious stuff where people make bounties that they feel proud to be associated with, because that's the other thing. I think the game theory itself dictates that most people aren't going to want to put out bounties for weird things, right? That they're kind of like shameful and they don't want to be associated with. The game theory of bounties on public blockchain networks tends to favor bounties for good, wholesome things that people will be proud to share. So that's what POIDH is aiming for.
Very well said. Very well said. I missed the trigger on the sound to mousetrap and go, it's a trap. But I hope you'll appreciate it anyway, and I'm digging you with the points. I wanted to know, Kenny, actually, if you would elaborate a little on your profile picture. You said backstage that you were a bit of a Bitcoin maxi. And for people who haven't, I closed the tab. Hang on, I'm coming back to it. You've got this cute little cartoony drawing. What is this little profile picture that you've got here at the top of your profile?
Yeah, so that's a Bitcoin puppet. It's a Bitcoin ordinal. I put it on around the time that I was first building POIDH. So I don't, the collection's gone up. I should have sold it at the peak. Now it's probably only worth like $500 or something, but I keep it on almost as like, it's been with me through this whole building process. So, don't want to abandon it. And people recognize you with it. Also, that's also a pet peeve of mine when somebody who I've been following forever changes their PFP. So yeah, that's why I stick with it. I love it. It's cute. And there is this history with me where I got into the industry in 2013. I bought the top of the Bitcoin bubble in 2013. Wrote for Bitcoin Magazine back in the day, right? When Vitalik was still somewhat associated with it. It was all pre-Ethereum days. I wrote for Bitcoin Magazine, wrote for Cointelegraph, interviewed a dark web drug dealer for Vice Motherboard. So this was my early 20s, and I'm kicking around just trying to make a living doing freelance stuff. So, of course, sold all the crypto that I had back then. Should have been hodling, but, poor early 20-something, what can you do? And so I've been around since that era, and that is why I still, Bitcoin onboarded me to crypto, and I guess that's why I have so much allegiance to it, right? And I've always loved that core sound money use case. I've also always loved the commitment to crop, censorship resistance, right? Those are the main things that got me into this industry. I have an economics poli-sci background. Always liked the Austrian economics side. So when I saw Bitcoin, it kind of made sense to me from that perspective. Minimal governance, minimal involvement, right? And so, yeah, that's why I still have love for Bitcoin. I'm not building POIDH on Bitcoin because you can't really build stuff on Bitcoin. So that's why I am grateful for Ethereum. And I'm super happy about the direction Ethereum's taken over the last 4-ish years, where they're prioritizing the crops direction as well. And it feels like it's Bitcoin and Ethereum out there pushing for that sort of tech, that sort of philosophy behind the tech. And that's what POIDH is meant to be as well. I want to be this way to coordinate without any central infrastructure, only anybody holding funds. It's 100% immutable smart contracts. We're 100% open source, right? That's our philosophy. So it feels like it's all aligning very well these days.
I just think it's rich that you were such a part of the Bitcoin community back in the day, and you're into keeping the chain for one thing, and yet you have minted and proudly wear an ordinal. I know a lot of people who think the ordinals are just trash. They're just, and I mean, that's kind of at the heart of the debate we're seeing in the Bitcoin community right now.
Yeah. That's it. I had a good back and forth with a guy. I don't know if any of you all follow Not So Fast. So Not So Fast, I followed Not So Fast since the early days. I used to listen to him on Shitcoin Talk, which was one of the first podcasts. Shout out Dumb on X, like the first early 2017 era YouTube podcasts about crypto. And so I'm going back and forth with Not So Fast because he was pointing out this guy that was this purity warrior for Bitcoin. Like, we have to get the ordinals off the chain. Like, it's polluting the chain. He's like, this is what like Bitcoin maxis have become. I'm like, no, like I'm here still a maxi. I just don't get riled up over this stuff. Right. Because we're seeing that fork, the fork of people that are rage quitting about this. That's being defeated as far as I can tell. I don't keep a massive eye on Bitcoin governance discussions, but I think it's going to fail, right? And so I think there's a large silent majority of Bitcoiners like me who we literally just want to see things kept simple, and we're not going to rage about it on X. And we're fun, like, it's like, okay, somebody's minting JPEGs on Bitcoin. Sure. If the protocol allows it, sure. Like, whatever.
Yeah, just like, okay, moving on.
Yeah.
I never forgot about the whole thing. It's like a bunch of freedom and anti-censorship maxis are yelling and screaming about trying to figure out how to disallow someone from doing a thing with the freedom tech. Yeah. And it just always rang odd to me. I was like, didn't they bake a mechanism for this exact kind of disagreement like into the very code itself? Why don't you guys just like piss off and go be grumpy somewhere else? If this is like the thing, you can literally go do whatever you want. That's kind of the point. I don't know. It always didn't make any sense to me. Like, hey, guess what? If you don't like ordinals, you don't have to get any of them. I don't know. It didn't seem hard.
Yeah. And it's not even like ordinals market is dead.
Yeah. It's
like you're worried about something from 2 years ago in terms of spamming the chain. Like, nobody's buying them. It's just sitting there. Like, I think Bitcoin people, it's just so, there's not much going on with Bitcoin. It drives people crazy. It's hard for people to just leave things alone.
Well, I mean,
like,
that's
very true.
I get it too. Like, if you were worried about it from like a tainting the credibility standpoint, like if you were someone who really wanted the thing to be taken seriously, and all of a sudden there were cartoons being minted on it at a time, when the NFT thing was definitely not in a great place. Like, this was post 2021, scream and run kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I like, in that sense, I do get it, but it's kind of like, it's that thing that comes up when you talk about like a lack of, no censorship, no moderation, freedom tech kind of thing. Like, hey, you got to think about what happens when stuff becomes, in opposition to what you had originally in mind, let alone worrying about what happens when things turn into a rat hole. Like, we all know how 4chan went without moderation. So I don't know. It's just, you got to think about that kind of stuff.
We are actually going to have a great creator. If you don't follow him, his name is bit.lovin. Now that you're on TikTok, and hey, for the people listening in TikTok, you can follow POIDH, Pixar It Didn't Happen.xyz on TikTok. I think that could be the move. But if you don't yet, Kenny, you should check out his handle is bit.lovin. And he is, he contributes to Bitcoin Park. He covered the news desk at some of the Bitcoin conferences for Bitcoin Magazine in the past. And he is doing some of the best work to clearly, thoroughly explain the BIP 110 drama, the Knots versus Core stuff. He's coming on the show, the morning show, next Thursday, just to kind of catch people up to speed on it, because I do think, though I share your opinion that it will probably fail, that it's one of the more important conversations happening around Bitcoin in our time, and that people should be more involved in understanding how exactly governance works on this protocol that so many of us use and depend on. So check him out, bit.lovin. Yeah, he's no hype, real straightforward. He's a cool guy, and I think you'd have a lot of overlap. It's time, I realize, for us to come to you for a final thought. I'm so sorry. You've been really generous with your time. Tori has come through in the comments to say we have got another donation hit. So let me give a ta-da and a thank you very much to the wallet ending in 9438. They're going to get a ding. And I want you to give your own final thought and plug, but I did have one more question for you myself if you've got time.
Yeah, definitely have time.
Okay, then the question is this, guys. We've been involved with the decentralized social game for a minute.
Yeah.
And Kenny mentioned the Reddit account that you said it got suspended, or you just can't access it anymore after 15 years?
Yes.
I imagine you have some hot takes on this. I think it is a tragedy that folks don't own their identities, that they can't port them from place to place. And I want the audience to imagine for a moment that your TikTok profile, your Reddit profile, the posts you make on those places you frequent, just like these bounties you can claim on POIDH, might be non-fungible tokens. They might be inscriptions on a blockchain. They might live somewhere that can never be censored. And they might belong truly to you. So rip to Reddit. It's a shame that wasn't an NFT that you could have taken with you. But when you look at the social landscape, when you imagine that future, is that what you see? A future where everything is tokenized, we own it all? Do you see any particular interesting applications of that? You're focused on bounties, but I would love for you to just extrapolate where you think that might go, or where you hope it will go in the future.
Yeah, I am incredibly bullish on the idea of POIDH becoming this layer, this decentralized social protocol, right? Because I wrote that whole blog, the coordination protocol, right? Where people are building up a reputation that's completely unruggable because it is fully on chain, and you mint it on chain, the claims minted on chain, the images upload to IPFS. We don't control any of it, right? And you can see, oh, this person paid this person added funds to this mission, right? Oh, this person voted against that person's claim. It's all right there. It's all fully on chain. You start to think about the implications of, oh, I am building an unruggable profile of the things that I care about funding, or the things that other people out there thought that I deserve to earn money for. It's a very powerful concept, and I want people to be proud of the reputation that they build on POIDH. And I also do want to build it into a fully decentralized protocol where POIDH.xyz is not the only client, right? Other people are running their own bounty board that plugs into the POIDH smart contracts, again, that we don't control, and they're just posting their own bounties on that one, right? And they have their own way of showcasing the data, that rich social graph that's fully on chain, right? That is the long-term vision. And I think it could be really special if we can gain some momentum and get more people incentivizing more things through the platform.
Cool. Give a last pitch for where people can find you. And if you've got a final thought or a last ask for our audience before you go, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, you can find me on X at Kenny is typing, on Farcaster, just Kenny on Farcaster. Telegram as well is Kenny is typing. If you want to chat me, DM me there. And then obviously the website is poidh.xyz. You can check out the docs to learn more about the smart contracts at docs.poidh.xyz. And if you want to get involved, the best way you can get involved is make a bounty. So shout out to you, Evan. Really appreciate you walking people through, showing them how to make a bounty live on the stream. That's massive. Also adding funds to bounties, right? But if you don't know, if you're curious about this, please reach out to me. I want to help you write your first bounty. I want to make sure it's done in such a way that you're going to get great claims, and we're going to promote it. And just come to me, because this is what I'm really passionate about, and I want to help people understand the protocol and get a lot of use out of it, get amazing things done through POIDH.
Well, thank you very much for making time to tell us about it. He is your friend and mine. Kenny, we'll see you again soon.
See you, Kenny.
You guys, thanks for having me.
Oh, and because I didn't say it off camera, I'm so sorry. Housekeeping, podcast land, skip forward 30 seconds. We'll disconnect you, but would you mind just hanging out backstage here for a second while your local recording finishes uploading? I'll ding you in the private chat when it's done.
Yeah, okay. So hit the leave studio, but chill?
No, you just count to 3, say bye-bye, and I will take care of it, and then you chill.
Okay, excellent.
1, 2, 3. Worked like magic. Okay, if you've got a question about POIDH, if you're curious about what's going on, we had a question earlier about Google earnings that we can come back to. We'd love to hear it. And if you missed the feature on Pixar, it didn't happen, like, hey, I saw Michael came into the studio on YouTube. This is a really cool episode about something neat in crypto that you don't need to chase hype or price to understand. And we are indeed up to 5 contributors to this bounty for correcting misinformation. You can earn $100 almost for a video here. Way to go. Very cool. Huzzah.
I'll say my favorite thing about POIDH is I'm a firm believer on, if you want to see change in the world, you need to direct money and financial reward towards that goal. So I'm a big fan of bounties, especially crowdsourced bounties.
Yeah, I thought the story about the first flight across the Atlantic and the steam engine, I had no idea that those were incentivized by bounties.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, people died for that flight bounty. The first few people did not make it. They did not make it on that.
I bet the first 10 didn't make it, probably. We didn't hear their stories.
They didn't win the bounty.
Talking about money being an incentive for people to do things, did you see Andre Ivoro Bets 0? Sorry for butchering your username. Thanks for the question. Wanted to know thoughts on Google earnings. Good time to buy the dip during the Alphabet earnings call today. I think numbers came in a little underwhelming, and the chart is looking rough.
The chart looks bad.
Took a little dive, and I'll let you share it.
The chart.
Thank you. Yeah. Take that chart.
Yeah. The chart is bad, and what we're seeing here is I'm going to pull up a few different indicators for this. So Google on the weekly time frame, we're breaking through what is considered the super trend. It's a strong area of support, and where the market actually wants to get Google or Alphabet stock is down here between 307 to 295. It's currently at 334. It's falling in the post market. It ended today at 340. So where the market wants to set up longs is an additional 9 to 13% lower from where it is, which would represent a 27% fall for Google from its top. Let me see. Let's see. I'll do this chart. This chart. No, this chart. This chart. No, this chart. Here we go. Alphabet. And let's actually take a look what their earnings was. Earnings. Oh, nope. I don't want that. Here we go. Nope, that's not it. Earnings. The earnings were just decent, actually. So reported earnings of 9.11 against the estimate of 2.87. That should be earnings per share. A surprise increase of earnings per share of 216%. higher than where it was expected. Revenue came in at 119.8 billion at an estimated 117 billion, so it came in at an extra 2.73 billion
Really?
higher. So,
Hang on.
I mean, the earnings was good.
I will come back to the chart in a second. I'm looking for additional information on why the dip. Doug said Google no good, trading below 320 yesterday in circle on the live. I assume that is shorthand for now is not the perfect time.
It's the perfect time to buy.
Well, I mean, from a TI standpoint, it's certainly not the perfect time to buy. And if I just look at this, I mean, we're slamming through the 12, the 21, and the 55-day exponential moving average, which means we're going to reconnect with the 200-day exponential moving average, which is at $319. Also, look at this. Look at that.
Hang on. Let me come back to it for you.
Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this.
What is it?
Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. It's a gap.
Hmm.
It's a gap down at $304, just below the 200-day exponential moving average, which happens to be, if you remember the chart that we were looking at previously, that is where longs want to set up on Google's chart. So look at that. We got a gap. We got longs. Buying Google anywhere below $319, my personal opinion, ain't a half bad idea. The weekly chart's almost in oversold territory on the stochastic-RSI. Again, support here is at $302 with the 55-week EMA. Once again, further solidifying close to $300 is pretty damn good. And let's see what else we got. Yeah, between 314 to 278. There's more support there as well. Now, the monthly chart is actually telling me that we could see more selling for several months, actually, which is interesting because the stochastic-RSI is on the way down. So we might see Alphabet or Google continue to cool off here for quite some time. But any buying at or below $300, I think, is solid.
Yeah, what a ripper of a chart over the last 10 years. I would call that the Brontosaurus chart.
I would call this, I wish I had a time machine chart.
Yeah, that too. Seriously. I think...
But the earnings report looked good.
Yeah, and Magic said, more context in the comments, a lot of companies this year drop after good earnings. After such a big run up, people are taking profits. That makes sense.
They certainly do that with NVIDIA. NVIDIA comes out and it's like, we did it again. We beat expectations. And then everyone starts selling. Buy the rumor, sell the news. It's typically how earnings reports go, unless there's like a really big shock surprise for a company that people aren't really paying a ton of attention to.
It also looks like they are raising their capital expenditures for the year about $20 billion, which is around 10%.
Yeah, that's a good thing. It means the AI gravy chain keeps rolling because what capital expenditures are used for is they're used for single-time purchases. So what do you do with single-time purchases? You purchase individual things. So you buy buildings, equipment, things like that. And so it's signaling an expansion of investing in data centers and all that kind of stuff. So the continued spending that is fueling the AI craze, every single major tech company announced an expansion of their capital expenditure budget, which is a good thing for keeping this whole thing running through 2027.
Well, and that makes sense. I heard you guys talking to Jillian yesterday about the odd enmity between oil companies and AI, and I definitely understand how Google or Anthropic, everybody is like energy constrained. They need more processing power. So those data centers, they take time to build. Got to build them. Got to spend that money.
Yeah, spend that money, baby. Spend that money.
Spend that money. Yeah.
Google, would you like to sponsor the Rise Up Morning Show? We will help you spend that money. However, that's not their capital expenditure. That would be their operating expenditure. So
yeah, but surely they can find it in the budget for a little.
Shirley is very good at her job.
Education.
She can find it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm going to ask you to put another chart up because I have a question for you.
What if I said no? Yeah, sure. Say it.
Hitting that bump button. So I've been doing what I always do with any new thing, which is hyperfixating and overthinking. So on the Solana chart, which is the only one I'm looking at right now, I have a question about time frames.
Sure. Let me get the Solana chart up and we'll take a look at this here together.
You know, I meant to pull up Pacifica. We are having the Pacifica team on the Rise Up Morning Show tomorrow, and I was thinking to myself, oh man, I haven't done a little perps trade in a minute. And
I've done perps trade in a while too. I was thinking about going in and playing around a little bit again.
Yeah, we might have to pull it up after this chart.
Yeah, I've been doing some little ones, but
so what's the question? It's a question about time frames. I have the monthly chart up right now. So what's the question?
Okay, so if you were to compare, I have like way too many time frames up, I think, for anything other than just like trying to look at how they look next to each other. And so if I look at the daily right now,
oh wait, hang on a second. I have a way to do this. Wait, Magic or somebody showed this to me. Hold on, hang on. Oh wait,
given Magic.
Ah yes, I am.
Whoa, you are chart master.
I am chart master. Now, how do I make this one just the daily? Ah yes. Good. My powers, they grow.
For the people in podcast land, Will has got 3 time frames of the Solana chart. Oh, no, he's got Solana, Circle, and Solana. What a helpful. This is like what Doug needs, but like 8 of these.
So
make this the weekly. Let's make this the 1 month, and let's make this the daily.
Can you actually, just for the purpose of my very specific question, can you make one be the daily, one be the 1 hour, and the other be the 4 hour?
So this one's going to be the daily. This one will be the 4 hour, and then the 1 hour, you said?
Yes, please.
I am a big fan of this.
Did you know you could do this, Alex?
Nope, no idea.
Well, if you guys ask questions.
Yeah, this is neat. Okay, so my question, Will, is with regards to the stochastic RSI. So if I'm looking at the daily, what I'm seeing is it like, you know, coming up out of this kind of like middle blue box range thingy. And, you know, obviously it's not really anything groundbreaking to say, like, you know.
Wait. Do you mean for the middle chart to be circle?
Oh, whoopsie poopsie.
Okay. Sorry. I was like, hang on a second. He's doing some real wizardry. sorry. Go ahead, Alex. Go ahead. About to give you totally off TA.
Okay, so the stochastic, I'll start on the daily here. So the stochastic RSI, the blue line or whatever, which is I don't remember. I don't know what I'm doing here, but anyway, the one that's always leading as you like go up, and then, you know, they always cross before it comes down again. So that one looks like it's not necessarily oversold, but like, or overbought, excuse me, but heading in that direction on the daily. And then if you go to the 4 hour, this is about, I guess, divergences or discrepancies between the same indicator on different time frames. It looks like it's like fighting around like at the bottom of the middle range, but like, you know, potentially crossing over and going down into oversold. But then on the 1 hour, it's like actively heading up and potentially going to pop out of the top of the overbought. So I guess I'm just confused when I look at these competing time frames where I see like the 1 hour and the 1 day being relatively similar in the sense that they're kind of both heading towards this overbought territory, but then the 4 hour is like on the opposite side of the range for this thing. Because that to me, and this is where I wanted either the correction or the clarification, I kind of have been always looking at these things like, okay, if the daily's like that, then like on the daily time frame, it's like heading towards overbought, and a correction could be, you know, forthcoming. Same thing with the hour, but then in the 4 hour sense, it's like the opposite. And I'm just confused looking at it.
Sure. So first of all, a stochastic RSI is a bad top indicator. It is a very good bottom indicator. It is a bad top indicator. However, it can be used in that sense in a very imperfect way. So when we take a look at the daily time frame, and I see that over here on the left side of the screen, it is in overbought territory. I'm not too worried about it, to be honest.
Sorry. You're starting with which one?
The daily.
Left side. Daily.
Always start with the longer term time frame. Okay. So I go, okay, cool. We're in overbought territory. So like all I can take from that is I might not be at the best buying opportunity. The best buying opportunity on the daily was here with this hammer candle, while the stochastic RSI was in oversold territory. That was a tell to us to buy. And
that red one?
Nice. Yeah, that red one.
Before the 4 days. Okay, got it.
Yeah. This is almost a hammer candle, but it's bullish enough.
That was okay, I'll come back to that. Keep going.
Yeah. So now we go to the 4-hour time frame. If I take a look at the 4-hour time frame, zooming in here and taking a look at the stochastic RSI, I see what looks like a fake out to me. When you have a stochastic RSI that falls all the way down to almost oversold and starts to pop up, it typically always rolls over and starts to enter and entertain this oversold territory. That's just something you learn when you spend a lot of time looking at charts and the stochastic RSI. So this to me is, hey, on the 4-hour time frame, this might be rolling over and coming into oversold territory, and we might end up getting something like this because the daily time frame is overbought. So we know it might not be the perfect time to buy, and maybe it's about to start doing that. We're not quite sure. So anyway, take a look at the 4-hour time frame. We say, hey, it's in a highly likely scenario where this little pump here is a little bit of a fake out, and the stochastic RSI wants to get into oversold territory. And if we look over here at the 1-hour time frame, this probably means that we're going to do this and come down, or the 1-hour time frame is going to create a double top and then slide. When you have the stochastic RSI create a double top before going into oversold territory, it typically then sells all the way down. You can actually see that as an example right here, where it created a double top, and you can also see it as an example right here as well. Double top stochastic RSI down to oversold. Double top stochastic RSI in overbought territory fell back to oversold. Okay, these are little things that you can pick up on just by looking at the stochastic RSI. So that's what I think is going to happen. And these 1-hour and also 4-hour stochastic RSIs could stay here for a while the daily stochastic RSI comes down and eventually gets in oversold territory. However, that doesn't necessarily need to happen. So let's go over this example. Let's say the 4-hour comes down and starts filling in oversold. The 1-hour does a double top, comes down, and is in, oversold, doing something like that. It's in oversold. And let's say the daily stochastic RSI, is looking like it's going to come down. However, if you have a bullish candle print and you see on the daily time frame that you are holding the 12, the 21, and the 55-day exponential moving averages, which are areas of support, you might still really want to buy that because this could still absolutely blast off. And then, the 4-hour pops up and the 1-hour pops up as well. You want to see if you can hold this. Right now, we take a look at the candles. We can see that on the daily time frame, we have an indecisive candle. We have a spinning top candle right here. Long wick to the up and down side of equidistance with a small body in the middle. It is typically a sign of indecision in the market. And you want the next couple of candles to decide what the direction is going to be. Right now, the candle's still green. If you can hold these support and you get like one more bullish candle here, if you get one more bullish candle, it's the market on the daily time frame screaming at you that it wants to go up. This will blast upwards, and you will see once the 4-hour stochastic RSI gets in oversold territory, the market will pop, and you could have another move upwards here for Solana, maybe even as high as $83 or even higher than that potentially. So I threw a lot at you, but do you have any questions on that? And did I answer your question?
Yeah, no, it did. And it's good. It was weird because I followed it. So you mentioned the hammer candle earlier. You said almost or like not quite. Is it just because there is any wick above the top of it?
Correct.
Okay, so
it's not a perfect
flat.
Yeah, it's not a perfect hammer candle, but I would be less hung up on the fact that you don't have a perfect hammer candle, like a textbook one. And I would just more so be interested in seeing that there's a long wick on the bottom, showing you that the bulls came in and started punching the bears in the nose pretty aggressively. And that's really the sign you're looking for.
Because the opposite is true 2 candles back, right?
2 candles back here. Yeah, that's a morning star candle.
Okay.
Long wick on the top.
It's an upside down hammer.
Yeah. Okay. We had a follow-up comment from Chelsea. She was coming in as you were saying that you think the RSI is a better bottom than top indicator. She said RSI.
No.
Go ahead. Say it again.
I said the stochastic RSI is a better bottom indicator than a top indicator.
The stochastic. Thank you.
Yeah.
RSI and stochastic, she says, are not meant to mark a top or a bottom. It is meant to be used with other indicators to show you where the wave of money is headed. But according to that analysis of these different time frames, it feels like you could spot some trends with it if you...
Yeah, I disagree with that. Okay. particularly when you go to the 1 week time frame. So if you all have taken my class, one of my favorite things that is a buy indicator is finding oversold territory or finding oversold conditions on the stochastic RSI in the long-term time frame. So over here on the left, we're looking at Bitcoin on the monthly time frame. And when you're in oversold territory on the stochastic RSI, as we have been here since January, and then you start to find support. So right now, Bitcoin hit a low last month at 60. Well, sorry, this is Solana. My fault. This is Solana at $60.80. And that is a line of support from these two candles here, the bodies of these two candles in November and December of 2023, as well as what was at one point the all-time high back in May of 2021. At the same time, you finally starting to see a slowing down of momentum here. So we're getting a slowing down of momentum while price printed a long wick to the upside here. And you are oversold on the monthly chart stochastic RSI, while you made a lower low that is barely a lower low. Put all these things together while the stochastic RSI is oversold, you're on support, all those things I mentioned. Really potential interesting time to have bought here at $60. Or, you know, if you waited for that candle to print here at $73.
I bought it at 60.
Well, that's pretty
Well,
fucking
ish.
good.
Within a
Pretty
dollar or two.
fucking good, right? So when you get into oversold territory on your monthly charts, particularly your 3-month chart, although those don't happen very often, but they are starting to happen now. And on Solana, it's there, and you start finding support on key levels. It's a great time to buy, particularly in a bull market. If you get oversold on the weekly stochastic RSI and you print one bullish candle on any of the key exponential moving averages, your 55, your 12, and 21, it's typically a phenomenal buying opportunity. It's typically the best you're going to get. That's in a bull market. So I would disagree. I would say you can use the stochastic RSI to like really find a bottom, but totally agree with what Chelsea has said that like it's not a perfect tool alone. You need to say, okay, cool, we're getting close to a bottom, and now give me a bullish indicator to confirm that it's a good time to start dollar cost averaging in this case.
Because you're using it here primarily with your simple or exponential moving averages, you said.
I use it with my exponential moving averages. The 12, the 21, the 55, and the 200. I've gotten into debates, or people have wanted to debate me and be like, you should use the 50 instead of the 55. And I'm like, brother, the line moves the itsiest, bitsiest, babyest bit. We're looking at the same data point, brother. So, you know.
Chelsea followed up to say, hey, Will, you have to take into account multiple time frames, because at some point in the continued cycle, the lower time frames will hold the higher time frames up to float in overbought territory. Did that make sense?
Lower time frames will hold the higher time frames in overfloat. Yeah, but the thing is like, if we're talking about the stochastic RSI, like I don't pay attention to it when it's overbought, because like you can have, I mean, I'll show a great example. Let's go to the weekly chart here. You know, like we hit overbought territory here on Solana May of 2025 at $167, and then, you know, it ended up going up higher to about 246, and it remained floated above in overbought territory. But because that's the stochastic RSI just isn't a good top indicator. It's a good, like, very rough top indicator. I mean, if you look at this and you said, I'm only going to buy when it's oversold, you would have been buying Solana from $176, you know, all the way down to 93, and then back up to 139. And then you would have sold it all at 186. So you would have had an average price of like 145, and let's just say, and you would have sold, if you sold it perfectly, it still would have been a 25% win for you, but like you're leaving a lot on the table there. But like it would have worked, like you would have won a winning trade. But the stochastic RSI just isn't a good top indicator no matter what time frame you're looking at, in my opinion. I only use it for reading the bottom. The RSI is a better top indicator, but it's a better top indicator when you're looking for bearish divergence, as opposed to when it's flashing in overbought territory, except for on very long-term time frames like for Bitcoin. It's not necessarily the best on Solana's chart. Where is that? Gosh darn.
She says it's a strong indicator for trading, not necessarily accurate for buying and holding.
What, the RSI?
I think that's what she's talking about. Yes.
For the stochastic specifically.
Yeah, that's right. The stochastic.
Yeah, it's like the first one that I like when I'm doing these like little things where I'm like in and out of something in 5 to 25 minutes or something like that. Oftentimes I feel like I make a decision based on that recently, and or just trying to, but that's where I've been running into this issue of getting confused, because I'm like looking at different time frames, some of which envelope other time frames, like in the instance where in like the 1 hour and the daily looks similar, but the 4 hour looks opposite, which just like feels weird. I don't know. But like I said, I don't know.
Well, if you're trying to do more like short-term stuff, like you're trying to get in a trade, like in and out pretty quickly, what's going to be more impactful for you, honestly, instead of like relying at all on the stochastic RSI or anything like that, it's going to be looking at like liquidation zones. So, like if I come to Solana here on the 1 hour time frame, hang on a second.
We got to zoom way in.
This is gross. Hang on.
While Will zooms in, I just have to say, I think you might have to have Chelsea back on an episode so that I can just take off and learn, because I'm sure there are many in the comments. I will get to you on YouTube. I'm doing the screen share with my other shoulder, but I am just listening. There's not much for me to say.
Yeah, so if I come to like the 4 hour time frame, because for margin trading, people hunt margin. And when you're on like the 5 minute chart, or you're looking to make a trade that you're in for 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes or something, or an hour, price order books will move to liquidate positions, because you can just look at an order book and see where liquidation levels are for people. And, if you have enough money in the market, you can just move it up and start liquidating people and keep doing that on repeat. And, you're doing pretty okay. But you can look at these liquidation levels as well. So like on the 4 hour time frame for Solana, we can see that there's the closest batch of liquidations in the short term is up here at like $79 essentially flat. And like that would be a better target to you. That would say, okay, like the incentive to probably go up in the market at least quickly seems like it's here. Now I'm curious if I go to the 30-minute chart. Yeah, this is what I'd be looking at. What I'd be interested in is if you get one bullish candle off of a support line, and here I'm using the super trend. So if we get one bullish candle here, I would say the market's probably going to come up and grab this liquidity. And then what I'm also looking at here is I'm also looking at, and what's the name of this indicator? I always forget. Is it the Lux Algo? Yeah, it's the Lux Algo, the Lux algorithm by Smart Money Concepts. Is if this were to happen, I'd probably set a short here. Because the market is saying that it wants to set up longs at about $77. And it really wants to set up longs if Solana were to fall to $76 to $75. So that's what the order book is telling us. And odds are that's typically what ends up happening. But if you're using the stochastic RSI for like short-term margin trading, not necessarily the best unless you get, again, like a super bullish candle on like a really oversold reading on your chart. Then yeah, it's interesting. But then also if you compare that with like, hey, there's a batch of liquidity up here. So, let's just say we're playing with 10x leverage. It's a 1% move higher. That'd be a 10% gain for you. Or if you're using 50x leverage, potentially a 50% gain for you, right? But if you have the opportunity to come down here and long start getting set, you can profit a little bit more, because it just with margin trading, it's just the nature of the beast. People are hunting for liquidity more, so you end up going towards those levels.
Plus, then you'd imagine that in the movement to either of those levels, either up or down, you would set new liquidity zones to then hunt from that point on.
Yep, exactly. Like Bitcoin has a much better chart. It's just more exciting than
Lady Long Term was hunting liquidity on the Bitcoin chart today. She said, I thought it would hunt upper more than lower on the daily. I was wrong. It was closer.
Well, what we're seeing right now is on the 1 hour chart, we're getting some bearish candles right here, and we're breaking the super trend. And it looks like Bitcoin might want to. Granted, we have 35 minutes to go, so you wouldn't want to make a decision off of this candle, because this candle can change in the next half hour. But if this candle were to close like this, This is telling us that it probably wants to come down and explore this order book where longs want to get set. That's what it's whispering to me right now. But let's go to a longer time frame.
Things in your ears.
It's whispering sweet nothings in my ears. The thing is there isn't a lot of liquidity down here though. So
Yeah.
the short-term liquidity is actually higher for
Is
Bitcoin.
above.
Yeah.
It is above. And when I come to the 4-hour time frame, we're actually holding the super trend. It's holding as support. And this 4-hour candle closes in 2.5 hours. So immediately, I would personally just scrap the 1-hour chart. I'd look at the 4-hour chart. I'd see what we're working with here. And let's take a look at the 8-hour just to be safe. The 8-hour closes in 6.5 hours. The last candle that was printed was an indecisive spinning top candle. There's support here.
Meaning there's a wick.
65. Upper and lower, which is a sign of indecision. So the market wants to see what the next candle is going to be to decide the direction. And since I'm now looking at the 8-hour chart and go, okay, the 8-hour chart is still trying to decide what direction it wants to go. I'm going to wait until that candle probably finishes forming in 6.5 hours. Unfortunately, I will be asleep then. But if you were awake, or you could set an alarm for yourself, you'd want to see how this candle forms. It would likely come down because we are seeing on the 1-hour time frame that it looks like it wants to break about 6,500. And then if that holds us support, super trend, then we might have a swing upwards to grab this liquidity, as well as to test this line of resistance, which I've shown before. It's a macro line of resistance. And then that would likely be an opportunity where Bitcoin would want to come back down to about 60K or so, start filling these long orders, as well as potentially grabbing these liquidation levels as well. But I would say you would definitely want to be looking at this and say, hey, I want to see what direction in the market the 8-hour chart wants to set. And if it comes down and holds this line, I'd then go over to the 1-hour and I start finding an entry point. But also you can see the market wants to set longs here at 65,000. If we go back to the 8-hour chart, that's 65,000. Where one of our major lines of support are using one of our indicators also. So it seems like a likely place for people to maybe set some longs at 65K and try to ride it up to 67.
Will, can I get you to give a rapid fire list of these indicators and the other indicators you use, as well as telling us just quick who they are, what they measure, who they're by, or like what they cost if they cost anything?
So these are all free. That top line of support at 65.5 is the Lorenzian classification. It's a combination of several different indicators. It's a custom one, but if you type in Lorenzian classification version 2.0, you'll get a very interesting line of support. It's this like green line right here that turns red. So if it's green, then momentum is overall bullish, and typically it gets respected as support more often than not. Or if it dips below it, you typically see a remind, which is what we've seen here. We've put in higher lows while it's in green. Pretty consistently.
And what's that one called?
The Lorenzian.
Lorenzian classification. And you can also see it's an interesting place to set some longs. Like if you come back down and you touch it, interesting place to set a long and then ride it up and then potentially sell it when it hits your, let's see, that's the kernel, right?
Yeah, it looks kind of like to the inverse when you get close to it on the top as short potentials.
Well, what I like the most, actually, the most consistent trade that wins for me is when the Lorenzian classification is red, actually. So you're looking to set shorts or longs. In this case, things are bearish. But then you also use your kernel, which is your KC here. It's called a kernel. When you come down, so let's see, where's a good example here? So we get rejected by the Lorenzian classification, and then we come down and we touch and we turn this back into support. Actually, that wasn't a good example. That would be a lost trade. Bad example. Bad example. Bad example. Hang on. Yeah, so here we go. We touched and we held and we maintained above this kernel. You could build a long here and then wait until you touch that Lorenzian again. There was also, oh wait, hang on a second. Let me do this on the daily time frame. Daily time frame. Oh, what did I do? Oh.
Oh.
I don't know how to sell this thing.
I don't know how to sell this thing.
These Tell me why.
Hang on a second.
I am a big fan of this.
I'm actually not seeing a good example of it here, so maybe it doesn't work so well. Anyway, regardless. Yeah, glump. I was looking for something. I saw it like several weeks ago, and it was working great. But hey, can't see it now. So say I love you. Maybe it's not a thing. The other thing as well is we have this super trend, which is this red line, which has this shading here.
Is that a
green line that's shading here? It is a technical trend. If you type in super trend into the indicators, you'll see that as well. So obviously when it's red, you'll have overall bearish momentum. Like we switched red up here when Bitcoin was at $77,000 and it didn't turn green until Bitcoin switched to 61,000. Right now it's green. So it is highlighting to us that you should expect a more bullish scenario to typically play out. And so in this scenario, you could be interested in, hey, look at this. This candle held the Lorenzian. You could set a long. This candle held the Lorenzian. You could set a long. These candles held the Lorenzians. You could set a long. We recovered above the super trend. The super trend turned green. The the super trend. Oh my God, I keep mixing them up. The Lorenzian turned green. The super trend turned green. We're looking for long opportunities, and they'd be working out. But it's not like they'd be totally perfect and amazing trades here. But if you created a spot position here, you got a decent little hammer candle. That's a 4.5% move in Bitcoin over 4 days. Depending on how much leverage you use, it could be a great trade. Exiting whenever you get close to the kernel is typically a really good idea. Yeah. And that's typically the case also for shorts as well. So the super trend, you could set a short here, especially after it got denied. Come down, you touch the kernel, you close, and you walk away from your trade. You came back above here. It failed to hold the super trend as support. You could set a short, and you could have ridden this all the way down as well. So those are some potential examples here. And then they also have the HTF liquidity. That shows liquidation levels on the exchange that you're using. For this is Bitcoin on Bitstamp. So this is just showing the Bitstamp levels, I believe. Actually, let me see if it changes if I do this.
And to answer DL365, who says, guys, isn't it time to buy crypto and wait? We are just reviewing trading indicators right now. Will is answering some questions for Alex, who's been interested in scalp trading, which is very short term. You can trade whether the market is up or down. What matters most is volatility and clear signal. You don't have to be bullish. You don't have to be bearish, as one of our friends said. You just have to take the best trades. So we're talking about that.
When you look at the liquidation levels, because whatever makes the market makers the most amount of money is typically what happens in crypto markets and short-term price movement. So, that's 67.2K is the closest to big payday for them. And
but
then
theoretically, like if you're kind of walking down a teeny bit, there's a little bit there, right? Like right underneath where that candle could very easily touch without really upsetting.
Oh, this right here. Yeah, but it's small, right? So, I mean, you could come down and then,
bounce right off of that kind of
swing upwards.
Interesting.
And if we use our other indicators as well, let me just see. I'm not seeing top indicators in the RSI. The stochastic-RSI worries me because eventually this is going to tip down. But again, not a great top indicator.
Not to distract you from where it's going next, but will you tell us the rest of your indicators? Specifically, Austin wants to know about the purple rectangle indicator, but I think he's talking about the blue ones. I think they're blue on my screen.
The purple rectangle. Oh,
yes, those little pockets of liquidity that you were saying.
Yeah, which chart am I sharing? Let's go to this one. Yeah, these big pockets here.
That's the Lux Algo, right?
Yes. Hang on. Yeah, that's the Lux Algo. That shows the order books. So in this case, I'm looking at Bitcoin on Bitstamp. It's just my favorite chart for Bitcoin. And so this is showing what the order books on Bitstamp are looking to do. If they are red and higher up, that is where shorts are looking to be set across the order book majority. And where it is blue and below, that is where longs are looking to be set. And when you have the order book line up with liquidation zones, they become very powerful magnets. So this is a very powerful magnet to start to see price go down, which is why if you see price come up to 67.2K, you're likely to see a correction from there, and for other reasons, but I won't go into that. But if you also see Bitcoin come down to this level where you see a lot of liquidations happening, where longs also went to get set between 61.7K and 61.2K, that is also a likely area to start to see Bitcoin, in this case, rebound.
Very helpful. Like hockey, like not hockey, bowling bumpers is what it makes me think of.
Yeah. No, exactly. I think that's a really great way to think about it. And other thing I'll point out for people as well, and actually I'll do this on the weekly chart.
I really like that channel indicator. That's very helpful. And,
it's good to show like when you're really overbought, because if you're outside of it or you're below it, hey, pretty good time to buy, pretty good time to sell. You know, it's not necessarily perfect, but if you're looking for opportunities, it's a useful tool.
Yeah. Kind of like bumpers. It seems like dummy mode.
Yeah. Even if you just remove a few things from the chart, you can see it more clearly. And that one was the oh god, I always mix it. Hang on, with super trend. Lux algo. Hang on. No, the KC, right? The KC. Oh my god. I've been using these indicators now for like 3 or 4 weeks, and I'm like still not remembering all the names. I just look at
it's
look at
a
them.
lot, dude.
Yeah, but if we where is it? No, I want the HTF liquidity gone. Here we go. And I want you gone. Oh. I mean, Bitcoin's in a descending wedge right now, which just from a pure TA standpoint typically breaks to the upside. And, you know, if we end up coming back down, let's pull up that liquidity again.
Alex, trade me the screen share. My elbow is screaming.
Screaming. So remember how we mentioned before that 67K is a really likely area to see a rejection?
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's...
Okay, but then, Evan, you have to take the notes because I'm writing stuff down and I don't want to...
What do you want me to write down?
Everything.
Dictate for... Oh, my gosh.
All of it.
So, all right, here we go. So Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. So you see this wedge here, right? Descending wedges tend to break to the upside. They're bullish patterns. And remember how before we said 67K has that initial like burst of liquidation zones? Well, if Bitcoin continues moving higher up to that 67K range, we're going to run into this week or next week, probably next week, the very top of this wedge, and we're going to hit this liquidation zone. And like we said before, we're likely going to come down and have a rejection from there to about $61,000, where this weekly batch of orders of liquidations are here. And then we said that's a likely area to potentially bounce. And if it bounces from there, that could very well signal the end of the bear market. However, you can tell by looking at this, because you all have eyes, that there's additional...
Unless I live in podcast land, or maybe I'm blind. Come on, man.
Unless you live in podcast land, in which case...
This is a gross misrepresentation of the facts.
Watch the YouTube. No, it's fine. I love y'all in podcast land. But there's also another batch of, liquidations that could happen here down at 57,000. And then we also have a very macro line of support here that our friend Yaboyski pointed out to me, which is the 300 simple moving average, which Bitcoin has touched each time in the past 2 bear markets, which are the only bear markets of which this line has existed for. And so that could potentially be the support zone where then you start to see Bitcoin rip upwards. Because even though you see all of these liquidation levels here down the chart, this is actually worth more money. And I know that by validating this across the CoinGlass Bitcoin liquidation heat map, where it does a better job of showing the smaller areas where the biggest paydays are. So if you pull that up, you'll be able to see it. But
well, hold on now, because I'm concerned about this big fat block of red down at 0.
Well, if it goes to 0, then a lot of longs get liquidated.
Just a few. Like, I don't know, all of them?
Yeah. Everything would be liquidated in that case.
Before you go over to CoinGlass, let me bring up some of these YouTube comments because they got done real dirty. I'm so sorry about this. One of them is from Magic, who said, FYI, the ICT HTF candle, not to be confused with the Boys to Men ABC DVD candle, indicator gives a view of multiple time frames on the same chart. Are you familiar with that ICT HTF?
Nope.
Okay, so that would be like if you wanted your 1 day, 4 hour, 1 hour, but not 3 separate windows. And Dan said that he would love it if we would go through these indicators next week in office hours. He totally forgot to ask today. And I would say to you, Alex, instead of taking notes while you could be screen sharing and answering the comments, just go to office hours, dude, or watch the replay on YouTube.
Hey,
and listen, if you guys don't know about office hours yet, that's the move. Ask somebody in the community
And honestly,
about it.
like,
You could do this all day.
I'm not the biggest fan of the super trend, honestly. I think it just makes the chart like a little messy. I did also change this, so you can come to the settings here. Where is it? Sell and buy. So you can also have it like flash sell and buy here. So it would have flashed sell here. That would have been a miss though. Flashed buy for Bitcoin at 92K. Could have written it up to 126K. It did flash sell for Bitcoin at 93K. But the thing is this sell will trigger at the beginning of the candle. So it will actually be better. But I don't know, it doesn't necessarily help me out too much. What? What's happening here?
Making fun of Evan because he's over here talking about his screaming shoulder and elbow. And meanwhile, I just going around and stuck it on a tripod. I'm still taking notes.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Evan kept making comments like, Will, rest your shoulders. And I was like, bro, this is on my little like tripod. I'm fine.
Clearly, I need to get another tripod. I just have a huge, screen. It's like right in front of my face. There's no way I'd have to like set that. I have to have it like behind
in the
me or
meantime,
something.
if anyone's curious about how the 300 simple moving average reacts with Bitcoin, the last bear market, you saw a small dip below it.
Who is curious about it? Who's asking these questions? What are you people doing?
And also in the bear market before, you saw we touched it one time. Yeah. So granted, only 2 data points, but it's a really great, like, you're kind of at the bottom. And we're kind of 58K is kind of the bottom, you know.
I actually do care about that indicator. That is an important.
I knew you did.
Yeah, I do.
I knew you did.
I do.
But that's that. But did I answer all of your Solana timeframe questions?
Yeah, that was great.
Yep. I've given out a point to Will for the excellent extended TA.
Yeah, you get 1 and I get 10 for asking you the question.
I'll give you 2. I'll give you 2 because it was an extended lesson. I was going to give Alex a point because he did ask really good questions. I was going to give my shoulders a point that I will take for like my general account. Magic also.
See, look at that. He's giving himself points over here.
Yeah. Because somebody's got to do it. Thank you very much.
What a guy.
I suppose somebody does have to do it.
Dude, we need some ice cream or something. That I appreciate it, but like I was not prepared for how
you know what
schooled I was going to be tonight.
No, I wasn't ready for that much either, but it was excellent.
I mean, I wasn't either, but here we are.
That's what I love too, is like the difference between, you know, you can really tell this is a good show for like modeling helpful education, because Alex gets on and he looks at the chart and he's like, you know, here's what I'm seeing, and he describes it well. And then you can just really tell how many at-bats Will has had with like looking at, talking about, and teaching these things, because you really do a great job of navigating the chart, speaking clearly through it, bringing in your past experiences, weaving in the questions. I think you do a really masterful job, and I love seeing the clips that everybody gets. They do really well, your TA clips, and they deserve to, because you're an excellent educator, man. I hope that Jim Cramer and I don't know who else, the Motley, whoever's got a TV show where they look up charts is watching this, and that they call you up to the big screen, because I would love nothing more than to see you do that on somebody's giant Megatron jumbo screen. And if you want to see Will do that, really go to office hours. It's at the link in bio wherever you are. Whenever you listen, you can go to community.rumshq.com or just skip the community, rumshq.com. We've got a link there where you can sign up for the free community, which will always be free and is a great place to ask questions, share what you know, learn, grow, and we say rise up. Or you can keep scrolling and head to the premium trial. You get 10 days free. And then it's just $30 a month. We are going to increase the price at the end of the summer because we want the growth to go slowly. This is the way to get time with Alex, with Will, with me, every week where we just really sit down and try to unpack every question you might have. The assistant said, actually, office hours is pretty nice. And we would love, love, love to see you there. Try it free for 10 days. And if you don't like it, just cancel it. Won't charge you. But everybody who participates has added a lot of value. And I think they'll echo that they've received a lot of value. So thanks, guys, for helping make that possible. It's a great offering.
I really enjoy that testimonial because it's so honest. It's like, this is actually pretty nice.
Actually pretty nice.
Pretty nice. It's like, you know, sounds very human. It's like, this is like, I'd be like, I'm way more tempted to try something. If someone's like, it's actually pretty nice. I'd be like, oh,
I like that review.
I believe that.
Yeah. Someone is desperate for a W in the chat. Is it you, Satoshi? No, but I'll give him a ding. Yeah, W's in the chat for Will.
We're just saying that because that's something that Jordan would say.
W's in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it reminds me of Calvin Hill. And I will say it is a great tactic for engagement to say, if you're learning something right now, put a 1 in the chat. If you learned something tonight, put a 1 in the chat. I will probably never ask anybody to say that.
Kind of okay. Put a shrugging emoji in the
Nothing. Yeah, that would be a great review too. Nothing short of okay. 3 stars. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, it's about that time. We got to start thinking about riding our cats and cows into the sunrise. We're going to do final thoughts soon. We'll tally up the points. But if you've got a question about TA or something else, if you've got a 1 to put in the chat. And Rada says, Alex, I will sacrifice all my points to you for your notes that you took in the community.
Oh, so, yeah. Valuable notes.
I'll clean them up a little bit. And I'm happy to share them for sure.
Yeah, Tori and Matthew, I think Tori might be AFK, but one of the things that Matthew does every day, Tori and Matthew have built out the architecture for it, is a show recap. If you don't see this, it's also in the community where it takes the transcript from the show and does a really good job of like time stamping, pulling links and specific segments in the YouTube recording so that if you don't have time to tune into a 2-hour show every week or every morning on the morning show or trust issues or whatever, you go to the show recaps channel of the community. And right there, you'll have this like newsletter style document with clickable links so you can get the quick highlights from every episode and then click it to go see like that moment where Will explains the indicators he uses. So shout out to Tori, shout out to Matthew. Thank you very much. Matthew is putting the team on his back and posting those every day, and we would love your feedback on them.
Yeah. I'd also say, like, you also don't need those indicators as well. Like, I mean, look at Doug. Like, there are so many ways to skin a cat. Doug looks at a chart, draws a squiggle, and then it works out. And that just comes with like the experience of looking at a crazy amount of charts. Like he has chartism, and I do as well a little bit. And he's great. He's a very successful trader, and he doesn't use any algorithm. He doesn't use any indicators. He just looks at the chart and says, if it's above that, it goes. If it's below that, I short. And that's all he's doing. He's just looking for key inflection levels.
Yeah.
And
what is Doug's handle?
I think it's 0x trend drift.
That's
or
right.
It's just trend drift.
It's got the 0x, and he does in fact have the chartism because Matthew posted it in our chat today. His prediction for Jimothy, the meme token, and then the validation that it pretty much worked out exactly as he drew it.
Yeah. Also, I saw the question here from Pharaoh Candle, which is, hey, Will, what do you think about the Lux Algo indicators? I love the Lux Algo indicators. Those are the ones that show the order book. Those like blue and red blocks. It shows where the market wants to set longs, and it shows where the market wants to set shorts. And they're really good, bowling bumper, whatever the hell they're called, bumper.
Yeah, bumpers.
Pad. Bumpers.
Yeah, gutter bumpers.
Just bumpers. Okay, just bumpers.
Gutter bumpers.
Yeah, they're chart bumpers to show where price is likely to bounce between, and I think they're great, particularly if you can line up where liquidation zones are going to happen in them, because then it's just like a magnet for price. I think they're great.
Beautiful. What do the creators of the indicators indicate? She follows up.
People will release they're free indicators that they have just customized and that they think are good or great. And, some are shit and some are terrible unless you have a certain trading strategy. But if you apply the right trading strategy, then they're great. And so it's just people kind of, it's like, just kind of people tweaking their cars or their custom computers to be, the way that they want them to be. Yeah, sometimes they're bad and sometimes they're good. And sometimes they need to be used in specific ways.
Sometimes maybe shit.
Lady Long Term wants to know, can we fact check those brothers?
Fact check yourself, brother.
Yeah, maybe not. CJ wants to know, is the bottom in? Does the 4-year cycle hold? If you missed it, CJ, we were talking about it.
Well, if the 4-year cycle holds, then the bottom's in October, apparently.
Yeah, and honestly, I kind of feel like that lines up with my personal expectations for the way things have been so far. It wouldn't surprise me if we dipped to get some liquidity, rose to get some liquidity, grabbed a little more. Maybe, I was saying to Yaboyski, to Ski the other day, we were just on a late night TikTok live chat. He's got a cool theory. We talked about it on the show about what is called the wall of worry. That's a phrase he coined, where when Bitcoin starts to recover, when the trend really starts to reverse, it's just like, sideways and slowly grinding up with a couple of setbacks, right? And you don't really realize it is a recovery until you're 3/4 into the thing and the top's about to blow off and it's almost over. But I feel like the macro picture of the world is like a big bag of what could happen, like the crypto 8-ball. And if there are 20 things in this bag, 16 of them are more tariffs, war escalation, the government rug pulls, the Clarity Act doesn't get passed, BIP 110 sends the network into it. You know what I mean? Like negative stuff that could push Bitcoin down 4%. And if we get 3 of those in a row, you know what I mean? Then maybe that's an event in itself and people will be like, damn, this is rough. And that will take some optimism out. But all it takes is like another reach into the bag and something really good happens and then it goes up. You know what I mean?
I'll say I'm certainly starting to feel like pretty damn optimistic. And
are you?
Yeah, I am. And I've been calling for 45 to 51K, and maybe that still happens. But I think my target's kind of raised a little bit closer to the mid 50K range. But we're seeing that cruise ship really turning around, and it's almost fully turned around. We're not there yet, but it's getting there. If we get one more dip, it'll be one more dip. But I think we are. If you're waiting for the perfect time, you're never going to get it. And so if you're looking to build a position in Bitcoin, then starting now, you're at a really good point to start buying Bitcoin now. Just be prepared to set the money aside that you have to buy Bitcoin and be prepared to spread that out over 4 to 6 months. And then, if the price goes lower, I wouldn't be upset about it. I would view that as a good thing because you should mentally be in the mindset of you don't have your Bitcoin yet until you've purchased that 4 months or 5 months worth of Bitcoin. And then the amount of Bitcoin you have isn't the first Bitcoin that you bought that might be underwater. It's the average price of your Bitcoin. That is your Bitcoin. And then that's the mindset you should be in. And then you have your Bitcoin after 4 months or so. And then you let the market go and do its thing for about a year or two.
I have to make a correction. Ski said, for the record, Wall of Worry is 50 plus years old. I didn't make it up. I can't take credit. My apologies. Thank you for the fact check. And also from the community.
Don't come for me.
We have got, check this out. Jeff Rascal said, 1 for Chiwi. He loves After Dark. I'll send a pic in the community. And look at this. Look at Chiwi watching After Dark.
Oh.
Look at that little buddy. Hey, Chiwi. Thanks for hanging out with us. Cosmic adds, the Wall of Worry, that saying, came from the stock market. Thank you very much.
But it's just imagine, Bitcoin's at 65,000 and maybe Bitcoin goes down to 50. Let's just say my first prediction's right and it goes to 48,000 or 51,000. If you have the ability to buy Bitcoin between 67K to 51K, you end up with an average price of your Bitcoin of what, $59,000 or something like that. And then the market starts turning around and, a year and a half, 2 years go by and, Bitcoin's at 150,000 again. And, you just got a nice, 2.4x on your money. It's that's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea in the chat also has a really good point. Bullish Babe says, be prepared for a 50% dip. If you are, then even if we go down to 29K, you will be okay. The point holds. Position yourself for whatever happens. If you're waiting, like Will said, there is no perfect time to buy. It is better to start buying, to start preparing, and then be prepared to deal with whatever happens. Alex, you always say, I have 3 plans. One for if the market goes up, one if it goes down, one if it goes sideways. And if you don't, then you can get one, and we can help. Nobody has a crystal ball to the future, even if we got a magic 8 ball, which says sell the news, by the way. But you can be prepared. It's not rocket science.
It's one of those things that sounds really silly and stupid when you say it, and then it just like keeps being relevant and pertinent. Like, market can only do 3 things. It can either be boring, or it can crash, or it can go up. And when I like sit here having barely any idea what's going on with regards to like markets and stuff, like me asking Will those questions is me learning it in real time, because I've never sat down to pay attention to it. I've never cared or had like a reason to. And realizing one day, like, oh, hey, you know what? Like, it can only do 3 things. That means I only need to have 3 courses of action. And I basically just decide which one of those 3 things I'm doing. And because I'm always considering the fact that like one of the other 2 things can happen when one of the 3 is happening, I'm like never surprised. And honestly, if nothing else, what it's done is eliminate all market-based stress that I've ever had, because I did something stupid in one of those 3 scenarios and was like, I forgot that the other 2 were possible. It stopped me from buying too much. It stops me from selling too many things on one little pump, just in case. And it stops me from going nuts when everything is boring and flat.
Feral said, I would rather have a deep ladder that I have to pull up than a ladder I have to scramble and set. And when I read that comment the first time, I thought it said deep bladder. And I thought, that sounds like a personal problem. Okay, all right. I think it's about that time, guys, that we do a little final thought and points tally. Do you want to give a final thought before the points, or are you guys feeling pretty confident and comfortable? Any last minute point getting remarks or points to give out?
I'll take some.
Ricky doesn't have any.
Ricky doesn't have any. Alex needed some more.
No, Ricky gets Alex's point.
Okay, Ricky gets Alex's point.
All right, now I have beef with a stuffed penguin.
You and Violet both.
Listen, man.
Although Violet and Ricky made up.
Oh, what?
Yeah, Violet.
I didn't know they were beefing.
They were beefing.
That's been
Violet was convinced that Ricky hated her. Yeah. And then Violet would walk in. She'd just walk in and she'd just punch Ricky in the face and walk out.
What?
All right, well then I'm going to have to text Violet and tell her that I heard Ricky talking shit, so that I have a compatriot in my now newly kindled beef with Ricky.
No, they snuggle now. She comes in and gives him a hug.
All right, okay. I had to go on Violet, but then I had to
from haters to lovers, it's the classic
Stockholm syndrome.
I was gonna say classic rom-com with where the female lead falls in love with her captor, kind of a thing, but sort of reverse, because I guess I'm Ricky's captor. I don't know what's happening in his head.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a thought behind those eyes.
Not a thought.
Like a much ado about nothing, like a Shakespearean love tale. Okay. Ski says, let me get a point. Rada says, I'll take one. No problem. And Solom says the movie could be called 10 Things I Hate About You. Okay, here we go. This is the points as they stand. Oh, and let me give one to Sevish, who's been DCAing for a good while, buying every day. Okay, here we go. In last place with one Gwump, I can't remember what this is, but it's gone, is what I wrote. It's gone.
And it's gone.
That's in the very beginning when Will said it's the strategy of doing things with crypto, and it's gone.
Oh yeah, and it's gone.
Correct.
Sorry about it. Play again next time. We have got, with 1 point, a lot of people on the board tonight. We have got Ricky, Violet, Helpful Bounties, Anonymous Wallet, thank you for your donation. You know who you are. POAP, Logadog, Dave with the kickflip record, Tori, Matthew, and oh no, excuse me. Actually, no, Tori has more points. I gave her points in 2 places. So in 4th place with 3 points and 2. Oh, no. Tied with all the 1-pointers. That's you. I'm sorry, Will. 3 points and 2 gwumps is Will. 3 points.
Where were
and
my
1
gwumps? Why did I get gwumps?
I honestly, I don't keep a record of why. I just write them, man.
I think it was Alex.
It could have been Alex, and you know what? Just there you go. It's Alex tied with everybody with 1 point. It's Will and Alex who have
Horseshit.
3 points. Did you say worth it?
I said this is horseshit.
Oh, I think you said worth it. like I'd do it again, fool.
Yeah, and sweet potato pie sucks.
Why are you gonna bring sweet potato pie into it, dude? In the second place with 3 points, it's me, and we've actually got a tie for first place tonight with 6 points and no gwumps. You got to give it up for Tori and guest Kenny. Congratulations, Tori and Kenny. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the updates. Our guest Kenny is available on X, or you can check him out over at POIDH, POIDH.xyz. If you missed that part of the show, you got to go back and watch it. It's a really cool bounty platform that will be an easy way to onboard folks into crypto by giving them a cool thing to do. Picks or it didn't happen. We'll have some clips of that up too. And we will be back tomorrow with the Pacifica team. I'm excited to say. Hopefully we'll have, what the hell was that? Some trades live on the air. Shout out to the sponsors who make this show possible. Arculus and Jito, thank you for everything you do. Don't forget, we got the Purple Wallet on pre-order now. And my last announcement, and then I'll kick it to you guys for some final thoughts. Will, I'm coming to you first, is that tomorrow, in addition to the regular show, I am going live with Anthony Galima, whose handle is Business Anthropology on TikTok at 7 p.m. Central after our all hands stand-up meeting. So at the end of my day, he has expressed some concerns about the content that we do. And I feel like there is no better opportunity to tell a better story than when somebody has a sincere criticism or complaint. So I'm going to do my best. I'm going to host him on my personal TikTok page because I feel like that's the most hospitable thing to do. More people will see it that way. And hopefully we can have a good discussion and tell a better story together. I would love to see some of you there. Will, have you got a final thought for the people?
No, apparently there might be a vote next week on clarity according to Twitter, but we'll see. That's Twitter. Well, there might be a vote, but the Democrats have said they don't support the ethics clause. That's in the most recent, but they're willing to work still with the Republicans. That's their job. I know it takes we talked a lot of TA stuff. It takes a really long time to figure out what works for you. A lot of the indicators that I use or go back and forth in, you might not need or might not ever make sense out of, and might not ever be a successful trader using all of them. Maybe you need them and more. Maybe you just need less. Maybe you got to use the Doug strategy. It's all about practicing and ending up finding out a method that works for you. But just remember, most everybody loses when you start trading really small time frames. Most people win macro swing term trading or long-term investing.
Most?
Right?
More. I was like, okay.
More. I'd say the most important thing about long-term swing trading is eventually hitting the sell button, because you get so used to holding a position for a while. But yeah, I'd say start with long-term swing trading first. And then start dabbling with small amounts of money for short-term trades. That's all I'd say.
Alex, final thoughts?
Yeah, I'll keep clarity updates coming. Granted that lots of them are just kind of I don't know, man. It's weird. Take all of the clarity content with a grain of salt. Recognizing now that the merge draft is out, so you can fact check it yourself by reading it off of Congress's website. That is indicative of a floor introduction being semi-close, at least. Although the prediction market odds of passage went down when that draft was released because, frankly, the ethics provision is very weak and actually kind of specifically bad. But I don't really know that there is a good solution because nothing undoes what has already been done with regards to how much money has been made by politicians a few specifically, one specifically, with crypto. So we'll kind of see something that is worth noting, though, on the time frame crunch that some people have talked about is the reason for that. So I'll make that my final thought. Just in case anyone didn't know, Civics 101 again. We are currently in the 119th Congress. It adjourns in January, in the very beginning of January next year. Every single thing that is on the docket for the 119th Congress in either the House or the Senate gets deleted when that Congress adjourns and a new one convenes, which will be when the inauguration post midterms happens. That will be the 120th, and they will have a fresh docket, which means that everything currently up and not voted on and passed has to get reintroduced literally from scratch. Theoretically, it could be quick, but you will also have a lot of new congressional people who are elected, many of whom who will be elected in protest of the current administration and are unlikely to be proponents of this bill in its current form. So that's why people are saying that chances of passage drop precipitously if we go past, honestly, the beginning or the middle of August, because it's less likely that we'll get a vote in the middle of midterm season, which is exactly when they will come back from this next recess. So yeah, it will be really interesting to see what happens, because I don't know that the industry is, I don't know if they're braced for, you know, watching Congress do congressional things. We'll see what happens.
My. What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. And when it happens, you know, we'll tell you about it. So everybody, thank you as always for being the very best part of what we do. Don't forget, if you missed parts of this episode, you want to catch previous episodes, check out office hours, or just connect, ask a question, share what you know, learn, grow, and we say rise up, then you got to go to the link in bio or check out community.rumshq.com, because the only thing missing is you. Until next time, everybody, stay safe, be well, my friends, rise up.
Bye.